In functions and graph question, it's often very important that you know which x and y value to substitute into the equation of the curve or the line if is given. Now in this case, the coordinates of B is given. You have to notice that B actually lies on the curve. What does it mean by the coordinate B lies on the curve? It also means that you can substitute the value of the coordinate B into the equation of the curve. Now how do you substitute the coordinates B? If you break up the coordinates of B, you see that it's written as 2, 0. Now the x value is 2 and the y value is 0. So what we want to do in this case is to substitute the value of x as this value of x and substitute this value of y as this value of y. In this case, the y value equals to 0 and the x value equals to 2. P remains as P because there is no substitution involved. You see that this 0 is the same as the 0 here, and this 2 here is the same as this 2 over here. In the end, if you solve the equation, you have P is equals to 8. So be sure to make use of the clues that is given in the question. Even if you don't know how to do, if you manage to look back at the clues and substitute inside the equation, you will be able to solve for the unknown. In part B, there's actually a very important clue. They say that the straight line cuts the y-axis at y equals to 2. We need to relate this information back to the graph. So what does it mean exactly when we say the straight line that we are talking about? That means it's this straight line cuts the y-axis at y equals to 2. It simply means that the y-intercept, this point over here, is 2. What I will do is I'm gonna redraw this triangle, which is this shaded triangle over here, and show you how to find the gradient of the line in this case. Now the gradient is actually equals to rise over run. That's what you have learned in lower secondary. Now the rise is 2 and the run is also 2. So this gives me a gradient of 1. However, you can see that the line is sloping down from the left to the right. Once again, we determine the slope of a line by looking where and how the line slopes from the left of the line, the top left, to the bottom right. In this case, it's going down, so we have to add a minus sign for the gradient. So if we use the general equation of a straight line, y equals to mx plus c, we see that m is the gradient and c is the y-intercept. In all line or curve equations, we need to start with the letter y. In this case, the gradient is actually minus 1, so we sub in minus 1. The x we will actually put as x, and the c in this case is the y-intercept, which is where the part on the y-axis where the line intersects, which is this part over here, is 2. So if you express the line in a neater way, is y equals to minus x plus 2. In order to solve part C, we rewrite the equation of the curve by substituting the value of p that we have found just now. So, and we start with a y in front. Minus 2x squared, if you shift over, it becomes a plus 2x squared. Positive 8, if you shift over, it becomes negative 8. The equation of the line, as what we have found in part B, is actually y equals to minus x plus 2. How do you find the coordinates of A? You actually also have to notice that the line intersects the curve at A and also at B. Now when two lines intersect each other, what do we have to do? Sorry, when the line intersects a curve, what do we have to do? We actually have to solve the two simultaneous equations for the curve and the line to find the value of x and y. So if I solve simultaneously, I will get minus x plus 2 equals to 2x squared minus 8. And then what I will do is I will shift all the x and the numbers to the other side. In the end, I will end up with this equation. We actually use the cross multiplication, also known as the cross product, when you're talking about a quadratic equation to solve for the values of x. So the equation becomes 2x plus 5 multiplied by x minus 2 equals to 0. And when you solve for x will be equals to minus 5 over 2, or x equals to 2. You have to know that this x value over here is the same as this x value in the diagram, because this is one of the intersection points for the line and the curve, which also means that this point here is minus 5 over 2 is actually the x coordinate of point A. So now we want to find the y coordinate of point A. So what do we have to do? We have to substitute this value of x back into the equation of the curve, and we get y equals to, you will get a y value of 4.5. So in the end, the coordinates of A will be x is minus 5 over 2 and y is 4.5.